Did you know that Rio 3, now owned by Disney, is going to be one of the most exciting movies of 2024? The magical world of Disney has been cooking up Rio 3, and it's almost ready to be served. So, we've decided to show you everything about the new movie that will conclude the trilogy of this amazing family of blue macaws. Since 2014, Rio fans have been eagerly awaiting the continuation of the fantastic adventure starring Blue and his wife Jewel, along with their 3 little blue macaw chicks, Mia, Carla, and Tiago. In case you're not familiar with the franchise, the first film in 2011 introduces Blue, a small blue macaw considered the last of his kind, who is found and raised by Linda after falling from a truck of animal smugglers. Years later, Blue is taken to Rio to mate with Jewel, considered the last female of their species. After many adventures in evading Nigel, a cockatoo working for the animal smuggler Marcel, the couple finally comes together, and Blue learns to fly. In the second film, Blue and Jewel, now with 3 chicks, fly to the Amazon and discover that they are not the last of their kind, even meeting Blue's father-in-law, Fernando, the leader of the Blue Macaws. They also befriend Roberto, Jewel's handsome childhood friend. This time, their enemies are humans who want to clear the Amazon rainforest for illegal logging, and once again, Nigel seeking revenge against Blue. In the end, everything works out, and Blue, Jewel, and their 3 little macaws live in the Amazon with their flock of blue macaws. Nigel is essentially kidnapped by Gabby the frog, who loves the cockatoo, and, after discovering that she's not poisonous, believes that love between them is possible, even if it's forced.
Nigel,
somebody help me!
I'm gonna never let you go.
That's precisely where the story of Rio 3 begins, right when the second film ended. However, this time the new adventure in Brazilian lands will focus more on the 3 Gunderson kids of macaws. Because, like all mischievous children, they want to explore more and more new places. And the Amazon has plenty of new things and, well, birds. The kids make friends with the red macaws, former rivals now allied with the blue macaws, and they are challenged to undertake a dangerous task in an ancient abandoned city deep in the heart of the Amazon, the famous El Dorado. They go and succeed. But the problem is that accidentally, they stumble upon a group of miners who are exploring the forest in search of gemstones and gold, right in the lost city of El Dorado. After realizing that the city existed but had no gold, they took the only valuable thing they found, in quotation marks, the 3 little blue macaws. And that's when the 3 kids were loaded onto a flight to Miami, USA. Of course, Blue, Jewel, and that guy Roberto were on the same flight after being alerted by the other red macaws who saw everything. And in this same group, you can't forget Pedro, Nico, and Rafael, all part of the franchise's main characters, besides the main couple. At the same time, Linda and Tulio, who are now happily married, are invited to join an NGO that advocates for nature and animal protection, which is exactly what they believe in. In this way, they are invited by the NGO's president to a global meeting that will also take place in Miami, and they embark for the United States, Linda's homeland, along with the NGO president, whom we'll call Ella for educational purposes, alright? When the plane carrying Blue, Jewel, and their friends land, their children have already been released, but they still have to disembark. And at this moment, the miners manage to capture all of them in cages again. And this time, they have more than just a few birds. They have several, which they plan to take to their boss to show that their journey was not in vain. Then, they are all brought before the powerful leader of the gang of smugglers who were after El Dorado. And what a surprise it is for everyone when they realize that the head of the smuggling gang is none other than Marcel, the smuggler from Rio de Janeiro that we met in the first movie and went bankrupt after Blue and his friends managed to free all the caged birds on the plane. After everything that happened in the movie, he went to settle his accounts with his buyer in the United States and ended up building a criminal career there, becoming the kingpin of animal smugglers and other valuable items found in forests all over the world, especially in Brazil. The catch is, he's not alone because Marcel's buyer is with him. Actually, it's a buyeress, Ella, the president of the Environmental Protection NGO who was, in fact, using the facade of a good person to gain access to resources and animals to enrich herself. And they make a couple, a criminal couple of course. Upon discovering this, and coincidentally reuniting with their old friend and pet Linda, accompanied by Tulio, manages to free the birds after much effort and danger, nearly falling victim to Marcel and Ella's gang of criminals. With the help of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, Linda and Tulio manage to take their friends back to their environmental reserve in the Amazon, returning them to their natural habitat. But the truth is, Marcel and Ella want revenge for having lost everything for the second time. And since they haven't been caught by the police and are now fugitives, they decide to go to the Blue Macaws Environmental Reserve and do what they do best: evil. Intentionally, they set fire to a part of the forest, causing a massive forest fire that spreads quickly and puts the lives of the entire flock of blue macaws at risk, needing everyone's help to save the little chicks who are once again in danger. At that moment, Eduardo, Tiago, Carla, and Bia's grandfather appears to help them but ends up trapped under falling trees and branches. When almost everything is lost, with blurry vision from the blow he received to his head from the burning log, Eduardo sees a bird helping him and pulling him out of the fire, leaving him in a safe place away from the flames. Afterward, he is found and the flames are extinguished by a timely rain during the events of the movie. The movie ends with all the macaws reunited. Marcel and Ella are arrested after their criminal act, and the question of who helped Eduardo survive the fire remains unanswered. And we see Nigel appearing briefly with Gabby, showing that he was the one who saved Blue's father-in-law's life, leaving the door open for a sequel, RIO 4, which could focus on Nigel and how he became less wicked. And who knows, we might see Blue meeting his parents, who could be in a zoo somewhere in the world, and recognize their son's picture in a newspaper from inside their cages. That's our theory of how the new story will unfold in RIO 3, especially since Disney acquired Fox, and RIO became part of the company's franchise lineup. Remember that RIO 2 was released in 2014, so 2024 would mark 10 years since the last film. Knowing the size of RIO's success and the number of fans who enjoyed the animation, Disney was actually planning to release the film in 2023, at the latest by February 2024. However, as we all know, the Hollywood writers and actors strike forced the release dates of many films to be postponed. RIO 3 was one of those films that had its release date completely changed, and it will undoubtedly be released between the end of 2024 and the first half of 2025. And you might be wondering what the actor strike has to do with RIO? Well, the original voice cast of the film consists entirely of major Hollywood celebrities who bring the franchise's most important characters to life. For example, Blue is voiced by Jesse Eisenberg, who played Lex Luthor in the Man of Steel movie, and Jewel is voiced by Anne Hathaway, who portrayed Catwoman in the last Batman trilogy. In addition to this fantastic duo, we also have the incredible Jamie Foxx voicing Nico and the globally famous singer Bruno Mars as the heartthrob Roberto. Don't forget will.i.am from the former musical group Black Eyed Peas, voicing Pedro. And not to forget Andy Garcia, the eternal movie mafia man, voicing Fernando, Blue's tough father-in-law. All of these actors were unable to perform their voice roles for nearly 6 months due to the strike, which resulted in the voice recording not being done. And consequently, RIO 3 was not completed, much to our disappointment. But some time ago, everything returned to normal, and now everyone is doing their part in the production of this amazing film that will be released soon. In addition to all these sensational Hollywood names, we also found out that the excellent Carlos Sandana, the Brazilian director who directed the first 2 films of the franchise, as well as Ice Age 2, and Ice Age 3, will return to direct RIO 3. Kudos to Disney for keeping these incredible names in this film that promises to be another amazing adventure in Brazilian lands. I don't know about you, but we are super excited to see this next Blue, Jewel, Tiago, Bia, and Carla film together once again. It's always great fun talking about the excellent animated films that have touched the lives of millions of people like many of us. And to keep you entertained, we've selected these 2 videos for you to choose what's more exciting.